It is one of the most dangerous places on Earth, but that didn't stop Russia pouring troops and tanks into the Chernobyl exclusion zone at the start of the war, patrolling the site of the 1986 nuclear disaster, while infantry were now told dug in, literally, in the poisoned earth nearby.
There were quite a lot of trenches, and they were digging trenches in many different places. But I understand that the most dangerous place was the redwood because that's where nuclear waste is buried.
People visiting Chernobyl like we did before the war are told to touch nothing, let alone dig. Making matters worse, say Ukrainians, the Russian soldiers were given out-of-date radiation monitoring equipment.
Whether it is ridiculous, whether it is foolish, 100%, it's ridiculous because we know that they were not prepared. If they had been given clear guidelines, so they probably wouldn't have ended up being exposed to radiation.
Since Chernobyl's reactor exploded in 1986, access to the area has been tightly controlled. But Ukrainians say thousands of Russian military vehicles rolled through here, picking up contaminated soil dug up by the soldiers.
We are talking about 30 to 60 kilometers around the Chernobyl station, and that area is heavily contaminated. In this one location, in 5 days, 10,000 Russian vehicles crossed this point on their way out from Ukraine into Belarus.
Contamination could have been carried into Kyiv, Belarus and Russia. Chernobyl's poisonous legacy, buried for decades, unearthed and potentially dispersed.
While the government celebrated, the opposition sat back in their seats, visibly taken aback and dejected.
It's essential a no-confidence motion is constitutional. I reject this resolution.
They'd called for a no-confidence vote, blaming Prime Minister Imran Khan for the steep rise in inflation and what they call his anti-Western foreign policy. Within minutes of the Deputy Speaker's shock announcement, Imran Khan made a televised national address.
Now that the Speaker has exercised his constitutional power, I have advised the President to dissolve the Assembly so that democracy prevails. In a democratic society, we conduct elections so that the public choose who they want to lead their country.
The President obliged. Dramatic scenes in the National Assembly, a fitting climax for this political crisis.
In the run-up to this vote, we've had revelations of a plot to assassinate Imran Khan and an expose on alleged collusion between opposition MPs and a foreign country he accidentally named as the United States to intervene in Pakistan's politics and oust him through this vote of no confidence. And that's what the Speaker cited when rejecting today's vote.
Shame, shame, claimed Imran's party. The opposition says these allegations are baseless, and it's Imran Khan who is acting unconstitutionally in a desperate bid to hold on to power.
As per the Constitution, the voting on the vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister was to be held today. There is no negotiability on that in the Constitution. That was not done.
Imran Khan says he's a target because of his refusal to side with the United States and his recent trip to meet with President Putin. He says he went to Moscow as a peacemaker, but even by Pakistan's tumultuous political standards, it's been a chaotic crisis.